what is the buying process for buying a turnkey rental property? So it's actually super straightforward. The first time you go through it might be a little confusing because you don't really know what to expect or what to ask or what to do. But once you've been through it once, honestly, it's the same thing every time. So it's super simple. You select the market that you want to buy in, obviously, and therefore select the turnkey provider you want to buy from. You shop through their inventory of properties, select whichever one you like. Maybe they have an online inventory, maybe they've sent you different properties, see if you like any of those. If you don't like any of them right away, but you kind of have a feel for what you're looking for, talk to the turnkey provider, and they can either keep an eye out for that for you or identify, they can work with you on that if there's not something immediately available. So once you select your property, some companies have a reservation process, like you might fill out a reservation form to hold it. But in general, you're just letting somebody know that you want to purchase that one. And the turnkey provider at that point is going to do up the sales contract. Usually, most providers use a state-issued real estate sales contract, so it's nothing crazy, but always keep an eye out for that. So you're going to sign the sales contract and you're going to send in your earnest money, which is usually about $5,000, but the seller will let you know. And your earnest money is really just holding the property. That money goes into escrow. So it will go towards your purchase price. So it's not a fee or anything. And no one has access to that money because it's an escrow. So you've signed your sales contract, you've sent in your earnest money. At that point, your due diligence period starts. This is kind of dependent on if the rehab on the property is completed or not. If it is complete, then you can go ahead and get your property inspection scheduled. Property inspection is very important, if not one of the most important things. You can go ahead and get that scheduled. If tenants are already in the house, you can start reviewing their materials, but this is really the time that you're verifying everything that you need to verify. You can check out the turnkey rental property due diligence video for more details on that. So you are doing your due diligence. If you have put a property under contract where the rehab is not done yet, you can start verifying numbers and things, but don't hire your property inspector yet. Wait until you get the cue from the turnkey provider to go ahead and send an inspector over. So you'll be coordinating with the provider for all of this. So don't sweat, they'll lead you through. At the same time that you're coordinating with the provider about things, you're also coordinating with your lender, assuming you're financing. The lender is going to be asking you for bukus of documentation. They're going to be getting your qualifications done, getting the paperwork set. They're going to be the ones who dictate when the property can close. They'll be scheduling the appraisal. They'll do most of the title stuff, but you want to stay in touch with them about all of these things. But the lenders are usually pretty good about coordinating all these things with you and staying in touch. So usually this whole process is 30 to 45 days if you're financing. If you're paying cash, it might only be 2 weeks because you're really only doing the due diligence before you close on the property. At the end of the due diligence, you have verified that everything is coming to you as advertised, the numbers, the condition of the property, whatever other information, and then you're just going to close on the property. The lender is going to most likely send you the documents with a mobile notary. They usually choose this. Again, lender is going to coordinate with you on this. As soon as you close on the property, you own the property. Congratulations, you own a turnkey rental property. Now you're really in coordination with the property manager on the property. So you can communicate with them when you first meet them. You'll be getting your direct deposit information sent in, kind of getting with them about how they work and getting your feet wet. But after that, it's really just you kind of making sure the property continues to perform. You always want to keep an eye on the property manager because if at any point they stop performing, which is very possible, you need to take action on that. That's a big thing with turnkeys is they should be hands off, but it doesn't mean they're perfect. So make sure you just kind of keep an eye on everything. And it's just that simple. So pick your property, put it under contract, send in your earnest money, do your due diligence, coordinate with the lender and the provider for whatever they need, close on the property. And congrats, you own a turnkey rental property.